In this video, we'll learn how to define, initialize, and display structures. Before we start, let's talk a little bit about what structures are. Structures in C allow you to group related data items under a single name. They are used to create user-defined data types that can hold multiple pieces of information. While C structures are not object-oriented programming constructs like classes in languages such as C++, they do serve a similar purpose of organizing data in a meaningful way. So let's start with defining the structure of a person with type def, struct, person. Now we would like the structure is called person, but we can also give it an alias person. So we can refer to it as person when we need to define when we want to initialize a struct. So this structure contains three members. I'd like it to be having a first name, and we will create an array of characters for that. And so that's first name and last name, and an integer that holds the age of a person. So like we said, so here the structure named person has an alias person and is defined. It contains three elements: the first name, last name, and age. Let's go ahead with defining an array of 5 person structures and initialize them with data for each person. So we'll start with person, using the alias person here. And let's call the array people because it contains multiple persons, if that makes sense. So here we'll start with initializing. The first one is, I don't have any idea of what names, so I'm just going to make them very like generic names, and then you can, of course, put in the proper names. The last one doesn't need a comma, so test 2, 3, 4, and 5. And for the numbers, we've got 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, looks good. I need a semicolon here. All right, there we go. All right, now what we want to do is we want to write a function to display information about a person. So we basically want to use, sorry, I should have defined the function. It's going to be a void function that doesn't return anything. Display person. We want this to actually, we'll be passing a person through a loop. So that's something we'll do in the main. And we just want to print f. So we will use the format specifiers, 2 strings, and a digit, which is for our age. /n. Okay. And now we will refer to the elements of our struct using the variable p. Here we'll go with first name, p dot last name, and p dot age. Now the compiler's been helpful here. I'm just double clicking on things. I'm just going to add a comment here that we've used the format specifier s, format specifier for strings, and the digit d for integers. Right. Now let's move on to our main method and see what we've got there. So here we want to loop through each person in the people array and display their information. So let's declare a variable called integer I. And let's go into the loop. Now we want to initialize I to 0. And I is less than 5 because we know we've got 5 elements in the array. And we will stop at 5 because we don't want these indices start at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I++. Next, what we'll do is we will call the function display person, and we will refer to the people array at index I. That's pretty much it. All right. Okay, and then we've got the return 0. Now let's see what we have for that. Let's compile and run it. And it actually worked. I don't have any errors or syntax errors, which is good, because most of the time I would. So it pretty much here what we've done is we've defined the structure, we've initialized it, we've written a function that displays the details of each person. So it's that part here for the string. Test1, this is for the last name here, and that number is for the age. And yeah, everything is being passed in through a loop. So the index of the array is being passed, and from there we can, using the variable p, we can access elements of the structure to display the information. I hope this was helpful to you, and stay tuned for the next video.